You're telling me you've never seen Jurassic Park? No, I guess I just haven't gotten around to it. Nope, I cannot accept that. We're watching it right now. Do you just carry around the Jurassic Park DVDs? Of course. Now shut up and let your life be changed. So, what'd you think? What do you mean, What could you possibly not like about this? Funny you should ask that. I have Jurassic beef. Now this movie, maybe it's a cinematic masterpiece, maybe it's well done and well acted and all that, but the scientific inaccuracies, I can't get behind it. You're such a nerd. To start off, Jurassic Park? More like Cretaceous Park, am I right? No. Okay. There were 7 different dinosaurs shown in this movie, only 2 of which came from the Jurassic period. The other 5 came from the Cretaceous period. And even our favorite ones, like the T-Rex, the Triceratops, and the Velociraptor. And don't even get me started on the Velociraptor, because what they showed in the movie wasn't a Velociraptor. What? So why is it called Jurassic Park? Maybe it rolls off the tongue better, but it's inaccurate. Why not Cretaceous Park? Or even just encompass all of it and make it the Mesozoic Park. That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Nope. Now the next point, I can maybe give a little bit of leniency. Because at the time of the making of the movie, they didn't have the knowledge we know now. For now, we know that dinosaurs were the precursors to modern birds, and so likely had feathers. They had a paleontologist on their production team to keep things as accurate as possible. And when he told Steven Spielberg that the dinosaurs should have feathers, Spielberg said that a feathered T-Rex just wouldn't be scary enough. Well, he does have a point. Perhaps it wouldn't have been as scary, but this creative liberty just takes it a little too far for my taste. And what is your taste exactly? Now for the big parts of what really bother me are the genetics. DNA has a half-life of 521 years. That means that after that period of time, the amount of DNA goes away by 50%. 500 years seems like a pretty long time, but then you consider that the dinosaurs existed over 60 million years ago. And it would take about 7 half-lives for DNA to degrade to be less than 1% of the original amount. Now you might say 7 half-lives, that sounds like a really long time. Yes, it's about 3,500 years, but again, 3,500 years compared to 60 million. The number of half-lives DNA would go through in that amount of time is over 100,000. 100,000? What I'm trying to say is that there is going to be no DNA left after that long of time. Now, you're probably going to tell me, oh, well, it was in a mosquito and it was preserved in amber. That's what they said. And before this movie came out, there was a scientist named Charles Pellegrino who suggested that DNA within blood that mosquitoes had sucked up and then were preserved in amber could be used to recreate the dinosaurs. People responded to that at the time, saying that it was very unlikely, although theoretically possible. That gets me into the mosquito. The mosquito shown in the movie is one of the only types of mosquitoes to not feed off of blood. They could have used any kind of mosquito they wanted, but they chose this one. It doesn't feed on blood, so there wouldn't be blood. There wouldn't be DNA, even if there was any DNA. Like I said, no DNA. This is ridiculous. Now, if we ignore all of this and we say they had enough DNA from the dinosaurs way back then, they only had the template. Modern cloning requires a living cell, such as the case with Dolly the sheep. They took the DNA from Dolly and put it into another sheep's egg cell. We don't have any cells from the dinosaurs, so how is that possible? Movie magic? Movie magic. Seems like a good enough explanation to me. Now you're probably going to tell me that they used frog DNA to fill in all the gaps, and yes, that's what they said, but frogs and dinosaurs are too genetically different for that to work out properly. And particularly so with the amount of DNA, or lack thereof. At best, it would be frog DNA with some dinosaur DNA inputted in there. It's not going to work. And these are just things I just can't get behind. Have you heard of something called suspension of disbelief? Yes, I have heard of the suspension of disbelief. However, I can't take it when it comes to scientific inaccuracies. Why are you like this? I love this movie. But aren't you glad that now you've had this opportunity to learn about genetics and cloning? It's like I always say, don't say it. Science is neat. Not when you ruin my favorite movie, it isn't.